47-72 against Slovenia in this Group C. There you see it. Game day 2, Group C right now. Bosnia taking on Turkey, and at 3 o'clock, Belgium are going to take on Slovenia. Teresa Brundtland, alongside Shona Thorburn here. There you see it, Group C action. Slovenia with a win and Bosnia with a win. Turkey and Belgium are going to be looking for their first wins. Teresa's going to bring in Bosnia and talk a little bit about them for us.
Yeah, hello everyone. Interesting game ahead of us, because we're going to question if Bosnia's going to keep the momentum from yesterday's game against Belgium. Are they going to be a little bit comfortable today or not? On the other hand, Turkey, as you already mentioned, is a must-win game for them if they want to think about progressing into the next phase of this tournament. Bosnia never have won 2 consecutive games in the women's EuroBasket, so are they able to do and make a history in today's game? I would highlight probably the Jonghyun Cho 17 rebounds versus Belgium yesterday, which has been record for a Bosnian player in women's EuroBasket. Incredible double-double for the center of Bosnian. And now we're going to look at the Turkish team. We're going to talk about both a little bit later.
Like I said, Turkey, disappointing loss. Disappointing fourth quarter, really. They were only able to manage 5 points in that fourth quarter against Slovenia. I think they're going to really need some people to step up. Number 1 being called right now, Pelin Bilgic. Absolutely someone for them who they need her to be more of a scorer, more of a creator. I think captain of the team, number 4, Shakar Turgut, she needs to, you saw some brilliance yesterday. She ended up with 8 points, but again, you need someone to help Juanita Hollingsworth. She had 16 points, 5 rebounds. I also expect her to be a little bit more aggressive on the glass, because she traditionally is a great rebounder in the record books at a EuroBasket for Turkey. So we'll see what they can do tonight. We're going to take a quick pause and have the national anthem of Bosnia.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem.
L'hymne national de la Bosnie-Herzégovine.
First, the national anthem of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
And up next, the national anthem of Turkey.
And now, the national anthem of Turkey.
Great sign here in Strasbourg, France, is the fans. You see some Turkish fans here, some Bosnian fans, and there we have it, the referees for tonight's game, Maj Forsberg from Denmark, Marie Kukulic, pardon, from Slovakia, Esperanza Mendoza Holgado from Spain will be calling today's action.
And umpire number 2, Esperanza Mendoza Holgado.
Yeah, now we're gonna see a starting five for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Deura on the point, Babic, Gajic, Savic, Junko Jones. I think quite expected first five. We've seen yesterday Nikolina Babic had probably the game of her life, shooting 90% in that matchup against Belgium. Incredible performance from this young, 23 points. On the other hand, Gajic, we haven't really spoke to it. Now we see Babic, obviously, who I just mentioned, but I also have to say that Marica Gajic is another key player for the Bosnian team. She hasn't really contributed as much. Yesterday's game point-wise, she only had like 8 games. Here we've seen a coach Loyo, who has been with the team past 4 years, which obviously shows up as well because the players are quite confident with him. They trust him, and he has really came up with a great game plan yesterday against Belgium. They had nothing to lose. They said they're not worried about it.
And now the starting five for Turkey: Bilgic, Shakar Turgut, Janetez, Hollingsworth, and Yıldızhan. No surprise, it's kind of the starting five that they went to yesterday. You know, you're going to need another big performance from that woman right there, Hollingsworth. She did have 16 points, 5 rebounds to go along with it, 6 for 12. Only the 7th player in Turkey history to reach 200 points at a women's EuroBasket. So that's a big accomplishment for the naturalized player for Turkey. Coach Yıldızhan for Turkey, he's been around, he is experienced. He took them to their maiden EuroBasket trip back in 2011, and then also coached them at the 2012 Olympics. So if there's anyone to try and get this Turkish team to play better, I think it is him with the experience that he has behind him. It is a little bit of a transition time for Turkish basketball. You don't have the face of basketball in Turkey, which is Işıl Alban, who's been out with an injury. Hopefully she gets better soon, and we see her back in a Turkish jersey.
Yeah, we see Turkish team now 47 points versus Slovenia. Their lowest, obviously, scoring since 1995 at the EuroBasket women. Not really too comforting for them to come into this game, but I'm sure they're gonna try to beat that sad record, let's say, in today's game and try to really challenge Bosnian team and grab the win.
Yeah, and I think, you know, talking about that 47 points, here you see Bosnia have never won 2 consecutive games. So I'm sure basketball fans from Bosnia want to see them make history today. But talking about that 47 points, I think it was the 5 points in the 4th quarter. The game just got away from them. So hopefully they have a little bit more consistent play. It's a long game. It's a 40-minute game. You know, we need to be ready to play the entire time, especially at such a high-level tournament like the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Bit of a technical issue here. Hollingsworth getting her probably a heart rate monitor type of thing taped up.
just going to discuss if obviously has to have it on her.
I think because they saw it now, they're going to ask for her to take it off, possibly. And now, unfortunately, they have to go and do a substitution.
Another start Turkey has imagined into this game because Juanita Hollingsworth is the key player of this Turkish team, and now she has to watch the beginning from the bench.
So number 24 will take the jump ball. Güçlü for Turkey.
Güçlü. 2:05.
Well, welcome basketball fans to the FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2021 competition. Turkey taking on Bosnia, and Jones going hard to the basket, but she misses. And the ball comes up in the Turkish hands. Turkey here taking their time, trying to run their system. Bilgic attacks, finds Shakar Turgic. She lets it fly. Miss, rebound for Bosnia. Tavic to Jones. Jones does not hesitate, but her shot was well off from three.
Yeah, that was quite beginning from Bosnia, that jumping Jones taking the responsibility on her back. I think she could a little bit share it at the beginning of the game, give the touches to her teammates.
Shakar Turgic. Ooh. Reverse layup, she just misses. Now Bosnia are running. Tavic inside to Jones. Jones going baseline, finds a cutting Gajic, but she's kind of off the mark.
Jonathan has actually blocked that shot very well in that last second.
Bilgic goes hard to the basket. She misses. Dura. Back out to Tavic. Tavic decides to shoot the three, and it's good. 3 points for Tavic.
We see Bosnian plays quite fearless. Again, they just step into the game, and whoever has the ball has the confidence to either attack or just take the role to be part of it.
Shakar Turgic gets the ball back. She drives all the way to the basket, and a nice.
This is a great decision from her because she has just missed a three. Even though she was open, she has decided actually to combine a little bit, have some combination with a pick and roll and penetrate all the way for easy two.
And really, I think for Turkey to win today, you need to have more of a presence. I don't want to say performance because I don't think just her scoring, but she needs to be more of a threat on the court.
Yeah, I can only agree because Juanita Hollingsworth can do things, but not all by herself.
Great, fast break. Nope, she decides to pull it out.
You see a huge mismatch in here.
Go inside to Güçlü. She's just off the mark. Now Bosnia running. Gajic decides to shoot it. She's off the mark. Turkey again running. Shakar Turgic, she goes all the way, maybe looking for a foul, but it wasn't called. High tempo, this game hasn't stopped yet, so these women have been going for 3 minutes straight here.
Yeah, it almost seems like they didn't have a game yesterday. A little brave penetration, let's say, from Tavic going against Güçlü, who has 205 centimeters, the tallest player on this championship. Trying to go layup. And now we see
Shakar Turgic.
Yeah, Hollingsworth's back on the court. Sure, she'll be motivated. Now.
It's one of those things, you know, do you let it affect you that the ref said, okay, no, you have to go off. Now you have to take out, you know, take off whatever was on your wrist. Does that affect you or does it motivate you?
Yeah, I would say it should motivate you, especially with her experience. You know, obviously we've seen some leaders already having a little breakdown in this championship mentally. But I think obviously the experience they have, they should stay balanced and just use it as motivation.
Tavic missed her second free throw, but was able to get the rebound. Gajic penetrating. It's back to Tavic.
That's a great defense from the Turkish team.
Tough shot, great defense, yes.
Yeah, we could see that they didn't let him penetrate easily to the middle of the paint where they could create a little bit more, so they pushed them into shot clock violation.
So this is my question to you. Babic, 23 points yesterday, 9 of 10, already 3.5 minutes gone from this game, and she hasn't even attempted a shot for Bosnia.
Yeah, but I think that comes to the experience as well, because if you experience, you know that if you have a player who's on fire like that, you gotta give them touches and test them if they in the same position today.
Hollingsworth with the rebound. She turns it over though.
A minute ago, we've seen the stat that there is a shooting 1-7 from both sides, and I think it's just caused with the intention to run the breaks and try to overload the defense. But at this time, I think it's just the beginning of the game, and it's up to point guard to control the rhythm of the game a little bit. So now we see Tavic slowing it down a little bit for Bosnia.
There we go. Babic has it, gets it back to Tavic. Gajic, Jura, she stops, she pops, and rebound for Hollingsworth. Good defense by Tavic. And then Bilgic picks up her first foul.
That was a great beat from Tavic. He just recognized that he's dribbling to that most dangerous spot, literally, when you cross the half court. And you try to stop in there. There's not many options you have, because obviously the sideline lines just smalling that space.
Jones, she thinks about it, she shoots it, and it's good.
You know what, this long three showing to Hollingsworth that she has to step a little bit closer to her. It's going to help her for next offenses. Because she could put the dribble down. She has such a quick first step.
Yeah. Janitez. Back to Shakar Turgut. Looking for Hollingsworth, but couldn't find her. Fittig. Drives baseline. Thought she was going to pass there almost.
Yeah, it was already, they were in the pressure, time pressure. It was like 3 seconds on the shot clock, so she had to try the shot.
And Fittig is going to pick up her first foul and third team foul. Yeah, good call by the refs there.
Yeah, I'm sure the Bosnian team is aware of that Turkish already are with the 3 team fouls at the moment, so it would be nice if they're gonna keep that aggressivity towards the rim to try to draw another one and have the option to go foul line any other foul.
Jura finds Jones. Gajic posting up hard inside the key. Tavic has to put it up, tough shot. And now Turkey are running. Just off the mark, a little bit too excited. It was the right idea.
Yeah, it just tells you that who should lead the fast break, but it was great intention from Yıldızhan, but she had Fittig wide open under the rim, but obviously she's not a player who's used to leading fast break as often, so she doesn't have that court vision.
Good job by Yıldızhan to realize that there was some pressure.
I have to say I'm impressed with the Turkish defense. They really are going for those Bosnian players to not give them any space to breathe on the court.
Jones. No one's open. Like you said, good denying defense here by Turkey so far early in this game. Babic. Babic drives, little left-hand layup in the middle of the key, and it's good.
And that's maybe, she said, okay, now watch me, because I need the ball.
Onar. And an unsportsmanlike foul here. Called on Turkey. Number 25.
Yeah, when you don't intend to play the ball, that's what you're gonna get. And that means 4 team fouls for Turkey. So obviously Bosnia will try to play even more aggressive to the paint to draw more fouls so they can get some free throws.
You know, a lot of those unsportsmanlike fouls that we see, it's usually after a turnover, and it's kind of this frustration play.
Yeah, or intention to stop quickly, fast break, but obviously it's quite hard.
Still have to play on the ball.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great call from officials. And again, great defense from Juanita Hollings forward, trying to deny that pass. Tipped it out of bounds.
Gajic.
Still haven't seen Gajic really be in danger for Turkish defense.
Great defense.
Amazing, amazing.
By Janites.
We see the intention of Turkish players to try to close that middle of the court where the Bosnians could create and assist to each other or have open shots. So great defense from Turkish team.
Turkey off again. I believe it was Onar, but Janitas is there to clean up the boards, and she makes it count.
Great effort on the glass. Gives you another easy two for Turkey.
Again, full court, pressing defense here by Turkey. Dura finds Jones, kicks it to Tavic. Tavic lets it fly, and it's good for three.
Yeah, it kind of is shame and kind of demotivating for the defense when you forward pressing and that is wide open player when someone forgets themselves to guard and they hit a three.
So Turkey calls a timeout.
Melis değişti zaten onlar. Olcay var, Melis var oyunda, Gökşen var, Bahar var. Bahar var ve Q var.
Now we see some stats of shooting 25% for Turkey. That's what's actually leading to only 4 points in this quarter in 7 minutes of the game. Not sure if you can succeed with this percentage, with this scoring against the Bosnian team. So they really have to now find someone who's going to be the threat to Bosnian's defense.
Dinleyin, boşluk varsa abi lütfen atın ya. Olcay 2 tane pozisyon kaçırdın, atmıyorsun. Atın, boş varsa atın.
Yeah, and I know that they've given up 14 points already to Bosnia. I'm not too worried about that because I think they have had a number of very good defensive possessions, but they can't make a basket. Yeah, their shots don't look bad. They're just really not going in.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Turkish to run loads of fast break, trying to really overplay the Bosnian defense. But as you said, that last bit is missing, and that's scoring 7 points for Tavic, 2-2 from threes. That's excellent percentage for the beginning of the game.
And now we have full court pressure here by Bosnia. Giombetta checked in for them. Tavic went out for a well-deserved break. Turkey trying to look inside and find Hollingsworth. Screen, nowhere really to go, but she finds Baha Shalar Oktan for the 2 points, and she's just come off the bench and already contributed for Turkey. Babic, she has it. She goes all the way. That would have been a tough make had she made it with Hollingsworth coming over and almost blocking her shot. Shalar Oktan, she's gonna try and create something. Fittek from a deep three. She's just off the mark. Jones running the fast break. What's she gonna do? She's gonna go all the way, but she misses. And now the ball's heading back down to the Turkish end. Great, good job. Nice job there by Turkey and Shalar Oktan.
Yeah, she has really slowed down that fast break. She didn't like it. She knew they need some easy baskets. So great read from Shalar Oktan.
Giombetta finds Jones. Jones with the step back three-pointer. That's tough to guard. I mean, this is your post player. who not only can score in the paint, but can also has the footwork and the ability to do a step-back three-pointer off the dribble.
It's great, and even better it would be if she would have scored it. I don't know if people could see her two teammates just had her head down, shoulders down, almost like disagreeing with her decisions to take it personal responsibility to shoot the ball. Because to be honest, I think they play so much better basketball when they combine and everyone's getting touches offensively, because then the Turkish defense has to move. They really stepped into it defensively, Turkish, and really doing a great job. So you gotta move them and try to force them to make some mistakes.
Shakar Turgut gets the ball back. You know, not a bad shot attempt. It was by Shalar Oktan. She's made the last 4 points for them in that area, so why not? Join Beta. Moving screen, I believe it was on Jones.
Yeah, Bosnian team's a little bit off the page, I would say. They seem like they're just looking at each other who they should play. I think it would be great for them to remind themselves the performance they done yesterday against Belgium when the machine was going really smoothly. I don't see it today as much.
But you know, this is what we kind of questioned. Was yesterday's game, Shakar Turgut takes it all the way to the basket, but she misses. You know, was yesterday's game for Bosnia one of those fluke games, or you know, like they played the game of their lives, or is it something that they can consistently do at this EuroBasket competition?
Yeah, I think we're gonna find out in next games to see it. Obviously, it's not that they would play bad. They're still leading in this game against Turkey, but I think the smoothness and the fluency of their offense is a little bit slow, and not what we've seen yesterday. Obviously, they still do play good defense, because keeping Turkey down to 8 points is an excellent result, and that's what they want if they're not as good offensively.
Yeah.
So we will see during this game if they're gonna just step up again and get back to that performance from yesterday.
Only one team foul for Bosnia. Shakar Oktan draws a foul on Jones. I think that might be Jones's second foul. It is. That could be a little concerning.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Junkan Joe's experience from the EuroLeague, from Yekaterinburg and NBA as well. So I hope she's going to manage her personal fouls, because it's really important to keep her presence on the court for Bosnian team, to guard Valintra Horinswood, to match up her and be that offensive threat, same as defensive help.
Onar, she goes all the way to the basket, but her shot is just off the mark. Now Jones leading the fast break. She passes it up. They find Tavic. Tavic lets it fly. And she's off the mark. Bilgic. Hollingsworth trying to post up. Smart foul. I think that was a really smart foul by Jebbo, number 15, for Bosnia. Have fouls to give. You don't want to give Hollingsworth an easy post position right under the basket in a semi-transition.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they had some scouting before the game, and they've seen how Slovenia was guarding Valintra Horinswood yesterday.
Hollingsworth. And another foul, and is this foul on Jones? It's not. Okay, so it was on number, I got worried. It's on number 25. Angela Delic. Seven seconds. Bilgic with the turnover, trying to force the issue. Jones gets the ball. Time winding down. Is it good? It is. That is your post player shooting a little floater in the key. Wow.
After fast break run.
Yeah.
I have to add that as well, because
here you get to see it again. Look at that. And it's good. Yeah, that was definitely, in my opinion, before the buzzer. We'll take a look here. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Right on time.
I think it was just on time. Obviously, the refs, they know what they're doing.
The made field goal, the play's on a review to see if it was released in time.
So they're going to see if it's released on time.
Show me the frame where you can see between the ball and the hand, right here. Okay. Go one more frame. One more frame.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
one. Okay, it's out, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have another angle to look
Very
for?
tight. But
Okay, this is perfect. With point one. All right?
Well, it was
Perfect.
close,
Yeah,
point
ball's out of
one.
hand, made basket.
So the refs should have gone with their initial assumption because they were
out, this
correct,
one.
but they want to make sure that
After
they
review, the ruling on the court is confirmed, made basket. You want to change the ball?
are definitely on point, so that's
We
great.
change the ball?
Here,
Thank you very much.
Group C action after 10 minutes. Turkey are trailing Bosnia 17-8. And that's the final basket of the first quarter. It's good, folks.
yeah, it's another exciting game we're watching, and it's quite interesting stats that Turkish has actually grabbed more rebounds than the Bosnian team, but obviously Bosnians had some luck from the long distance shots when they hit those 3 threes compared to 0 from Turkish team. So I think really you would believe and you would hope that defense is going to bring you offense. So I think both teams playing great defense, and Bosnians obviously trying to, after steals, run some breaks. Here we see the confirmation of the stats what I was talking about. 0 for Turkey from threes, 30 for Bosnian. But, you know, for Turkish team, you got to carry on playing this tough defense and hoping that it's going to bring you some steals and run some easy fast breaks, because they couldn't hit the basket yet in the first quarter.
Yeah, you're right. We get to see some highlights. Coach Yıldızoğlu of Turkey not too happy with how his team has come out.
Back to the game.
Then again, there's still 30 seconds left. 30 minutes left in this game. I do have a question for you. So we talked yesterday, those of you who were tuning in, following us, we had some wonderful games. It's hot in this gym, and I saw fatigue in the players' bodies, the players' faces. You know, the sweat was just rolling off them. Bosnia, there's some players who played really big minutes, and this is a quick turnaround, a 12 o'clock game. You know, you have Jones playing over 38 minutes. You have Gajic playing just under 38 minutes. You know, Babic around 34 minutes. How do you think they feel so far after 10 minutes today?
I think they could be tired, but come on, this is a EuroBasket, and I think you're gonna shake it off at your room when you in the aircon and proper air, and I'm sure they're ready for today's game.
Delic was with the miss, but Gajic is there to pick up her rebound. Jones backing down, gets it back out to Tavic. Tavic attacks the basket, a little fadeaway jump shot. She's well off the mark, and Turkey comes up with the ball. Onar trying to run the offense here for Turkey. Bilgic. Shot clock winding down. Someone's got to do something. Onar gets all the way to the basket and is able to finish.
The shortest player on the court, penetrating all the way. Such a brave, rewarded penetration from Onar.
Jones. Her shot just off. But Bosnia comes up with the offensive rebound. Jones working inside now, and a foul is called. I believe it's going to go against number 33, Topuz.
Yeah, we see. She was actually in grand defensive
Yeah.
position. She just
I think
dropped that hand down.
And her feet kind of got tangled up a little bit too, and
yeah, she had Jonathan Jones to maybe do a travels, but she just dropped a hand in there to touch that ball and hand. So 2 shots for Jonathan Jones.
Bilgic goes out for Turkey, and number 99, Fitic, checks in.
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more contribution from other Bosnian players as well in this. I know this is working, but all seem to be really a lot around Jongan Jos at the moment.
Yeah.
If Turkey's gonna adjust to it a little bit, the others has to step up.
Genetez. She turns it over. Again, one of those situations you leave your feet trying to pass, and sometimes you can get in trouble when you do that. Bosnia running. Delic maybe got away with a little hook, but she misses her layup, and now Turkey. Maybe a little quick shot from Yıldızan. Delic gets it back. She passes back inside to Gajic.
That was a great isolation of two players in the half court of their offensive half. Gajic was really wanted that ball in the low post and drawn a foul.
I agree with you. I think yesterday Bosnia shared the ball well. And you know, everyone had the opportunity to take open shots, where today it seems like they're focusing just on 2-3 players a little bit too much, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday they had 18 assists in the game, which is a great number.
Yeah.
And today they only 4 so far. I know we're only in the second quarter, but just a visual effect of the game, it seems like it's way slower and way more personally focused.
And that's a second moving foul on Jones.
And that's a third personal foul. That's what is a bit worrying now at the moment for Bosnians.
Some frustration by her.
And it's just a shame because it's a simple screen to set. There was no one around. There was no defender pushing her off her position, setting the screen or anything. It was just a simple, be a little bit wider and try to set a proper screen.
So obviously she's going to go down to the bench now.
And now is the time when the other players has to step up.
Yeah. Hollingsworth,
Great
double team by Bosnia. Onar lets it fly. Her shot's a little long, but they're able to come up with the offensive rebound. Genetez is posting hard. She wants it. Guarded by Gajic. Tough move, tough shot, a fight for the rebound. And Gajic comes up with it.
Yeah, that was an unforced error from Gajic, obviously. It was the pass what Gambetta would wish for. And now we see Deura back on the court. I was just about to say that the players who we've seen actually played really well yesterday are sitting on the bench. So, whoa, great steal from Babic. So I would like to see Babic back on the court to be that threat from the long distance and get the defense moving a little bit, so it would open it up for Marica Gajic to have the space to play down under the rim.
And again, Turkey having a hard time getting the ball inbound.
It's a great pressure from Serbians defensively now to really contest every pass out of their bounds. Turk back on the court, so strong presence for Turkish team. And as you already mentioned earlier, I think she really has to take the responsibility offensively to try to score. She can just isolate herself with Quensa Hollingsworth and try to maybe create something for them so they can score some points.
Wide open three-point shot attempt by Gulcan. She's off the mark though, but Turkey comes up with the ball. Fitik attacks, misses.
I think I have to ask, like, we've seen Bosnia's defense yesterday challenging the same way Belgium when they couldn't hit the shot.
Yeah.
Today we see Turkish couldn't hit the shot. Is it just an accident or is it actually the defense of Bosnians doing it?
Three-point shot attempt by Diabo from Bosnia. And a good job her checking in for the Jones, who had to go out for with 3 fouls. Shakar Turgut looking for
Jebo tried to bump Juanita Hollingsworth before she even got into her position, and that's what officials didn't like.
Nicolina Jebo, second personal foul and second team foul.
And we saw yesterday Slovenia's Shante Evans had the task of guarding Hollingsworth, and not so much bumping, but she got to the spot before Hollingsworth did. It was honestly an excellent job defensively by Evans, but also that Slovenian team yesterday on a player like Hollingsworth.
Absolutely, she used basically her disadvantage into her advantage.
Strong take, and it's good by Gulcan for Turkey. And this is what they need to do. Their outside shots aren't falling, right? So what do you do when that's happening?
You're gonna get the defense moving and attack that basket, as we've seen from Gulcan. On the other hand, Dauda trying to go against Hollingsworth, not successful. Fast break. Easy 2 points. And this is, I think, where we're gonna see it. Great defense brings you some opportunities offensively to score easy baskets.
Good job by Gulcan there, drawing the offensive foul on Delic. And now Bosnia and coach Royo decides he wants to call a timeout and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. They had Turkish down to 0 points in this quarter 2 minutes ago, and suddenly the Turkish leading this quarter 6-5. So that was a quick 6 points and a great call from Coach Royo to step it up with this timeout.
Both teams there with 6 turnovers, but it's those 4 steals by Bosnia. They've really put some pressure on Turkey, especially bringing the ball up the court. 5 minutes left in this half. Turkey making a little bit of a comeback, but Bosnia still with the lead, 22-14. And here you see nice little hesitation by Gulcan for Turkey. She's scored their last 4 points. She had that aggressive take right before that. Coach Yıldızoğlu happy with what he's seeing. Şalar Aktan into the game for Turkey. She finds Gulcan. She lets it go, and now she's scored 6 consecutive points for Turkey.
What a great team play from Turkey to deliver that ball to Gulcan, who has been on fire and scored those last 4 points, now at the moment 6 points, and give her the ball again, because that was working, and that's what exactly the mature and experienced teams usually does. If something works, carry on with it. Oh, that was a great
Nice
pass for
pass.
Tadic.
But Gajic just misses.
Yeah, I wonder if that absence
Mismatch.
last season, she was dealing with injury and she didn't play, if that might a little bit get into her at this championship, not having enough minutes played.
Tadic decided to take a foul there because she knew it was a mismatch situation and that Gulcan had hit the last 6 points for Turkey. Shakar Turgut, stop and pop. I think Babic might have got a tip on that. Jones running the fast break. She passes to Tadic. Tadic goes up strong, but she's off the mark.
There's an overload now.
Bilgic. And Turkey makes it 3. Good job, Bilgic.
That was a great read, because Tadic, after the unsuccessful layup, she stayed all the way in there, and I don't know why she didn't get back on time, but that was a great read from Bilgic.
Turkey now 1 of 7 from the 3-point line, thanks to Bilgic breaking the Zeichel. Now she's out running. Throws up a crazy shot. I think she was a little
Off balance,
out of control. Dura to Gajic.
I don't know why Dura didn't take that pull-up jump shot. She was wide open, the same situation on the other side.
Dura.
Nice.
And I think the foul is going to be called on Shakar Turgut, number 4 for Turkey.
Yeah, that was quite hesitation a little bit, and then Dora actually chosen the shot over the Hollingsworth. So you gotta be brave, you know. I know she might wanted to slow it down a little bit, but it didn't really happen anyway. And I think Bosnians need to spread the floor a little bit better. At a couple of occasions, we've seen them passing within 1 meter to each other. That's really easy for defenders to cover it. So they gotta spread the players a little bit to stretch the defense.
Jones. Going one-on-one. Oh, what a block from Hollingsworth. Jones is upset. I think she thought it was a foul. She's got to be careful, though. You can't really complain too much.
Yeah, and we've seen that officials quite paying attention to these reactions of the players this tournament.
Look at this. What a block from Hollingsworth.
What a great defense. You see 3 defenders of Turkish team to cover this penetration of Jonken Jones. And Turkey back in the game, 19-22 for the Bosnian. This quarter, Turkish leading 11-5 so far. So that's great defense, bringing them easy baskets, and Gulcan's braveness and courage going to the rim.
So Gajic is the one who picked up that personal foul on Shakar Oktan. And now a moving screen, so an offensive foul on Babic by Bosnia.
And what did we say? Defense usually brings you offense. And at the moment, I think Turkish players really stepping up defensively, individually and as a team. We've seen 3 people guarding Jonken Jones under the rim. Now Belgic really playing great one-on-one defense. Excellent.
Now Turkey has a chance to either tie or take the lead. Shakar Turgut with an assist to Şalar Oktan.
And you know what I like? They really do move on the court well at the moment. They're moving the ball, they're getting touches, they're opening up the floor for others and each others. And that's the difference at the moment, I think, between these 2 teams.
Babic finds a wide open Gajic underneath the basket, and great movement and execution by Bosnia.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I like to see Babic back on the court, because she was great yesterday, and I think she doesn't play back game today either. Great defense, contest that pass.
Bilgic, she attacks hard. Little shot attempt by Şalar Oktan. I think Bilgic actually could have passed the ball a little bit faster.
Yeah.
To the corner there.
Absolutely, because she saw that the defender from the strong side has dropped on her, and there was no way anyone could help for that player in the corner for the shot. So I only agree with you. Now we've seen a personal foul of Yıldız Han on the effort to grab the rebound of the hands of Jonken Jones.
Jones brings the ball up the court. She hands it off. Dura to Gajic. And then ball, actually, I think it went off Fitik. Timeout called here on the court. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play in the second quarter. 7 seconds left on the shot clock for Bosnia to get a shot off here. So I'm guessing coach called a timeout. They're probably going to run something specific here in this last 7 seconds.
Absolutely. Coach Leo knows that every basket matters games like these. So that was a great call. He had timeout to go. Why not to draw something that they can get easy 2 points? Here's some stats. Turkey is shooting 14% from threes, but they have definitely improved twos to 32. Yeah, I think that's the difference now, because Bosnians obviously hitting some long shots, which helps them into that penetration to the paint to stretch the defense a little bit of Turkish. On the other hand, I think Turkey really stepped up with the aggressivity, and which brought them some quick runs offensively to get the easy points and get back to the game.
You saw some of the Bosnian players getting fanned on the bench to try and stay cool. Turkey has now cut the lead to just 2 points against this Bosnian team. They were up by 12 at 1 point here in this first half. So good job by Turkey not to put their heads down and slowly chip into the lead. Gajic, back to Babic. Babic, and a foul on Fitik for Turkey. And Bosnia will go to the line for 2. Fitik not too happy with that call. I think she thought, hey, I was just playing tough defense. And Babic only able to make 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And now Turkey again with a chance to cut into the lead. Onar attacking, driving, finds Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth lets it fly, and it's good.
And again, excellent play from Turkey. Organizing offense, being patient with the ball, and ended up with open shot for Vanitra Hollingsworth.
Gajic, you don't want to foul in this situation, because you know.
Absolutely, she got to be careful. The team is in a foul trouble, so you don't want to give them an easy 2.
Babic finds Jones underneath. Jones goes up. She misses a late foul call on, I'm not sure who, because the Turkish players don't know who either. I think it's going to be on Hollingsworth. It is, and that's her first foul. Here we go. Let's see here. Oh.
I don't know if that was maybe the hands down before she lifted them.
Then I almost think it was before the shot.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
I mean, they're shooting bonus anyway.
Yep. What matters is that Jonko just made the first. She's in 9 points so far in this game today.
Jones. She knocks it down. Bosnia making a substitution.
Yeah, that's her 10 points of Jonko, 6 rebounds so far on 3 personal fouls.
Timeout by Turkey.
You gotta be careful. You know, considering how physical the game was yesterday against Vanitra Hollingsworth and what the officials really led her to receive, this foul has been a little bit questioned. As we could see, she was worried. Like, she was like, I didn't really touch her, according to how much I'm getting. But, you know, but officials always right, and that's what it happens, and they gotta carry on and play more.
Anlaşıldı mı? 5 oynuyoruz. Q'ya veriyorsun. Q'ya veriyorsun. Double team geliyorsa Q pass. If they don't double team, let's play. She has 3 fouls. She cannot strong defense. Tamam mı? Oynayalım bakalım.
Sakın foul yapmayacaksın ona göre.
So you heard Coach Yıldızolu there in the end speaking English, said, Jones, we got to attack her because she has 3 fouls, so she's not gonna, you know, she's not gonna be able to stop you. She's not gonna be able to play as aggressively.
Absolutely, and Jones is such presence for Bosnian teams at both ends of the glass. So if they manage to get her in a foul trouble and get her off the court, that could be definitely a decisive point of this game.
Onar, guarded by Pavic. They're looking for Hollingsworth. They have trouble executing the pass into Hollingsworth, I feel like. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Onar, she drives. Nice little floater for her. 5 seconds left. I think Pavic is aware. She just decides to throw it up, and it almost went in. So a good job there by Turkey in this second quarter. And at halftime, Bosnia 27 is up just 1 point over Turkey, who has 26. And you really felt like, especially at the end of the first quarter, that Bosnia might just run away with this game, but I thought Turkey did a much better job of attacking the basket and getting easier shots inside the paint.
Yeah, we see Turkey struggle from this 3-point range, shooting only 14%. Bosnia 2 points. I think they're shooting only 16, which is crazy as well. Here, everything else is pretty even, but Bosnians shooting for 2, only 16%, 3 out of 18. Here we see some top scorers. Jones, 10 for Bosnian. Chakir, 7 for Turkey. I think Turkey play actually as a team today. They really don't rely only on Kanista Hollingsworth, but we've seen other players to step up, either if it's Bilgic or if it's Onar. The small stars to be a little bit more aggressive towards the rim, as you mentioned earlier, and it really brings them success.
Yeah, I agree with you, Teresa. I think they did a much better job of playing as a team, Turkey did. Here, we'll check out some highlights from the first 20 minutes of this Group C action, Bosnia versus Turkey.
shot. Itzikaba. Again, a chance to run. Here's where they might do some damage. Spain. Open floor. Dominguez goes right at Bentley. Oh, she makes an incredible shot. Unbelievable. Falling down.
Belgium is definitely a medal contender in this championship. It's just, you know,
Good defense there by Belgium.
it's not easy to play a first game of the championship.
Oh, nice no-look pass by Julie Alemán to number 23, Geldov, who just checked into the game.
Petrangelo another three, and Basic with the board. Seems kind of like Italy have run out of ideas a little bit on offense. Basic! And the bump and a three-point play opportunity. Castagno, oh, look at the cutter, and she gets swatted by Zandalicini. Brooks, the second time she's had a shot blocked in the last 30 seconds.
She volleyball spotted that, Jeff.
See if she gets it back. Knows the handoff to Bentley. Shot clock winding down. She makes the trap. She gets over to space. She puts it up. Ah! She's made the shot. Lavinia. And it's the backboard. It is heartbreak for Spain. What a shot, Bentley.
Et avec le concours différent en vidéo sur les écrans géants d'Eurelus.
So there you see it, the top scorer for Bosnia, Jonquel Jones, 10 points, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, only 2 of 9 field goals. I think what's worrying for me is her 3 fouls.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree because obviously her presence is such massive for Bosnian team on the end, on both ends of the court. Either if she's getting rebounds or she's actually filling the paint against those penetrations. I think really that's one thing what Coach Loyo will have to discuss with her. Is he going to give her trust into her and let her play, or is he going to save her for a little bit later? But we could see in that last time on before the break that Coach Yıldızlı obviously knows about it as a really good experienced coach and will try to play against her as much as they can, because if she's gonna commit a 4th foul early in the second half, that's gonna mean that the coach Loyo will have to make that decision.
Yeah, and then now here you have the top scorer for Turkey, number 9. I thought she did a great job, Şakar Aktan, coming off the bench. 7 points, but they were crucial. It was like 4 points in a row, quick little jump shot for her. You know, catch and shoot at 2 points, right around that range. And when she checked into the game, you really felt like momentum started to change a little bit for Turkey.
Yeah, I can only agree. She was a great transition, big one, coming into the fast breaks where she got those open looks in the corner of the foul line shot. So, yeah, you're right. She basically started at that offensive belief of Turkish team that they can get back to the game point-wise and close the gap and really even the score before the second half, because I think that gives them that momentum into the second half, believing that they can score, because they only scored 8 points in the first quarter and 18 in the second quarter. That's a massive difference, 2 different quarters for Turkish team, and it will be interesting to see where they're gonna come up to that third quarter, which is really important for the game. I can expect a big defensive pressure from them.
And there you see some Bosnian fans making the trip here to Strasbourg, France for the FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2021 competition. And don't forget, groups A and B are enjoying their time in Valencia, Spain, We had a big upset last night where Belarus, on a last-second jump shot by Bentley, were able to beat Spain. Next up, we have the coach from Bosnia to give us his thoughts at halftime.
Coach, it's a one-point game.
Yeah.
What do you have to keep doing the same, and what do you have to change?
We have to change. We have the same problem like yesterday in the last 5 minutes on the second quarter. We get out from our sets. We try to force some transition when even it was not necessary to do it. Some quick, we were trying some quick finishes. We were not good enough with them. Then the problem was with Jones, who made third personal foul. We have to focus on this third quarter especially and try playing good defense and try to make this difference bigger.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach,
Yes.
I see you looking at the stats. It's a one-point game. You're more satisfied about the reaction today. It's a big defensive game with a lot of intensity, right?
Yeah. Today especially, we are running our efforts better than yesterday, but not enough, of course. Again, today we let their easy points, end of turnover, especially or after offensive rebound. We have to stop their offensive rebound. We have to stop their transition offense, but also we have to play smarter 5-on-5 offense.
I wish you that for the second half. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you heard it from both coaches at halftime. Obviously, both of them can do they believe that both their teams can do a much better job on some specific things. Coach from Bosnia is not too happy with the 3 fouls from Jones. Turkish coach wants their players to box out, not give any second chance, easy opportunities for Bosnia. So we'll see if the players listened, but then not only listened, can actually execute the game plan and what their coaches want them to do in this second half.
Yeah, I can only agree with that. Obviously, the break in the changing rooms gives you a space to really discuss what you want to do and talk about the importance of the third quarter of the game, because that's usually a decisive moments of the games. Not always, but a lot of times. So the players had some time to rest. They had some time to talk and kind of reconnect or whatever is needed during the halftime to do to step up stronger than ever to that third quarter of the game.
And don't forget to check out some of the Group A and B action happening in Valencia, Spain. Right now, Greece, 16 points compared to Serbia's 40 at halftime.
Yeah, here we see the confirmation how important Jonathan Jones is for Bosnian team. 10 points, 6 rebounds. Yesterday she had double-double with 13 points and 17 rebounds. So that's a crazy numbers individually for this young big of Bosnian. And coach has highlighted it at that interview that it's a really big problem for Bosnian that Jonathan Jones picked up that third personal foul quite early in this game, because Turkish knows it and they're going to try to attack her to commit a fourth personal foul early in this third quarter. So she would have to go on the bench, so Coach Lawyer would have to save her for the end of the game when she'll be the most needed, obviously, to make the impact. So it will be really important for them to stay composed and the other players as well to step up, because it's not just a defensive foul she could commit, it's also the offensive one she could do. If the Turkish playing smart defensively, they could easily play defense the way that she could have also charged. So big question how she's going to deal with that pressure being on the 3 personal fouls. On the other hand, I think Turkish team is playing excellent defense at the moment, and it brings them this offense and they brought them back to the game. So I expect them to carry on that aggressive defense and put Bosnians under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 fouls by Jones, my opinion, you got to get the ball to Hollingsworth and you got to ask Hollingsworth to attack Jones aggressively, and maybe you can get her to pick up that 4th one early here in the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it has been 2 different quarters for each team, because the first quarter Turkey only scored 8 points and they were struggling offensively, even though their defense wasn't as bad. But on the other side of the second quarter, it was completely opposite way. Turkey scored 18 points and Bosnians only 10. So who's gonna step up now to contribute? Because you can't win the games with 10 points during the quarter. So not only they have to play the great defense, but also they have to contribute offensively.
Yeah.
Second half.
Well, welcome back, basketball fans, to the FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2021 competition. Shona Thorburn alongside Teresa Brandlebud. Teresa, can Bosnia make history here, or can Turkey come up with a win and really make this Group C interesting?
I think anything is possible based on the performance from the first half, when 2 quarters has been absolutely different for both teams. So anything is possible. I think Bosnia can make a history and Turkey can win. So the only way to find out is to stay with us and watch the second half of Turkey against Bosnia.
Shakar Turgut, she picks up her 3rd foul. Babic turns the corner, finds Gajic. Good job, Hollingsworth. Help side defense. Wide open in the corner, though. Dura, she misses, but she gets her own rebound, gets it to Jones. Jones attacks Hollingsworth. Good box out by Shalar Octon, who's getting a start.
That was a great pass from Shakar Turgut, seeing that mismatch down under the rim. Her teammate Gojan posting up. It's so important to score these easy, quick baskets, especially coming off the locker rooms.
Tavic, she shoots her shot short. And now Turkey have a chance to push the lead. Oh, what a take by Shakar Turgut.
And you know what I liked was that she actually slowed down the offense. They had chance to run the break, but she decided to slow it down, prepare, and she knows how every basket is important.
Jones has an answer, and the game is tied again. I was just about to say Turkey with their biggest lead of the game, but it didn't last so long.
Yeah.
Bilgic finds Hollingsworth, beautiful pass, and what a finish by Hollingsworth. That's only her 4th basket of the game, 4th point, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bilgic has really used the fact that Jones can't really play aggressive defense, and she was just in a between somewhere, hanging. Great pass from Bilgic.
Tavic. Dura. Back to Tavic. Tavic with the shot. Jones there fighting for the rebound, but Gajic comes up with it, and she can't hold on to it.
Sorry.
And Shalar Octon, wide open. What a 3 by Gulcin there in the corner. She has been the difference maker, in my opinion, for this Turkish team so far in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I would say her and Shalar Octon as well when they needed them to score. And that's exactly what we spoke about, that other players has to contribute point-wise, and that's what happens. A little bit tight defense from Bilgic, but you're absolutely right.
Shalar Octon and Gulcin, number 5 and number 9 for Turkey, they're the ones who checked in. They didn't start the game. Now they're starting this 3rd quarter. But they're the ones who really checked in and made a difference. You saw the little jump shots from number 9, Shalar Octon, and then the takes and the 6 consecutive points by Gulcin there in the 2nd quarter.
Absolutely, and it just tells you how important it is that the people off the bench come into the court, gives the valuable minutes to key players to rest, but even raise the level of the game on the court. That's amazing to see.
Bilgic, tough layup, and it counts! Good job there by the point guard for Belgium, and she celebrates. Nice body control and kind of awareness that, you know, I think the refs are going to call a foul. I need to get this shot up.
Yeah, that was great play from Bilgic. And you know what, I'm starting to a little bit worried about Bosnian team at the moment. I know it's still very early in this game, but this 7 quick points, it's actually 8 quick points in this third quarter, already leading 11-3. That's just an incredible number, you know. And the pressure, defensive pressure they're having at the moment with the struggle of Bosnians shooting from the field. You know, I think at the moment Turkish are in complete control of the rhythm of the game.
You know, I talked about in the first half how these Bosnian players, they played really big minutes yesterday against Belgium. Quick turnaround, they have a game at noon. And today, Turkey, for example, only one player has played 14 minutes. Everyone else has played less than that. The big players for Bosnia, they're at over 18 minutes a game, just under 18. They have 3 players who have logged big-time minutes already here today. And are we seeing maybe a little bit of fatigue by this Bosnian team?
Yeah, it is quite possible, because we've seen it in games before, that the players were able to really cope the first half really well. But when it comes to the second one, obviously the fatigue comes in and comes in. And yet, Turkish looks way fresher at the moment. They're controlling the tempo of the game, running fast breaks, slowing it down, organizing, finding open players. They're fun to watch at the moment.
Shalar Octon with the turnover. Jones, but no, Fitic is there. Bilgic, she goes in strong, she misses, but Fitic gets her rebound. She attacks, a little bit too. Maybe they needed to pull it out, a turnover by Turkey. And now Dura decides to slow it down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit overcomplicated, let's say, by these 2 young players.
Tavic, her jump shot's good.
Yeah, we haven't really spoken about Tavic as much, obviously, because of Duncan Jones and Deura and stuff. But yesterday she played 29 minutes, 7 points, 6 assists. So she is definitely one of the key players for Bosnia as well.
Hollingsworth, good job attacking the offensive rebound. And she doesn't make the basket, but she draws a foul. And I believe that is the 4th foul on Jones.
Yeah, now it's obviously up to the decision of the coach, Lawyer. Now we see that he's reminding Jones that she's on the 4th personal foul, which she's quite surprised of that. Not sure how and why is she so surprised about it, but the fact is she has 4 personal fouls, and now she really has to be careful and manage them. No, well, I think we've seen that the previous 2 offenses of the Turkish, they need to really attack her. That's one thing. And second thing, they could use the fact that she's not going to play aggressive defense, so she's going to be hanging somewhere in between, which could give the space other players to create and find the open players.
Good job there by Hollingsworth. And now, this is the biggest lead of the game for Turkey. Tavic. I was about to say good defense, but they actually call a foul on number 99, Fitic. I think that's a foul.
That's a foul. If you go if you adjust your body a little bit and go ahead of the player and use the other hand to try to deflect the ball, then maybe, but this is quite good call.
Almost a turnover for Bosnia, but they get it back. Dura drives, layup, she misses, and Turkey comes up with the rebound. Fitic, open, hesitates. Nice pass to the baseline. Oh, little two-point shot by Shalar Octon. She misses. Jones running. Easy basket for her. I thought she was going to dunk it for a second.
yeah. It's fun to watch that the biggest player on the court is the first in the fast break. It's such pleasure to play for the point guard when you see this. It's always good because the bigs doesn't run usually as much as she does. So it's such a weapon for Serbian fast break.
Shalar Octon, little pull-up jump shot, and it's good.
And here she is again. Shalar Octon from the almost the same spot.
Yeah, and I like seeing her getting this kind of playing time because she is one of the most experienced players on this Turkish basketball team. She's been involved in a lot of big tournaments. She's been around. Minutes have been a little, you know, some tournaments she plays, some tournaments she doesn't play. And now she's taking advantage of that playing time, and it's benefiting this team.
Yeah, absolutely. She's one of the veterans of the Turkish team, alongside with Tukce Canetes. So you're absolutely right. She is the one who should step up for the Turkish team when they need it the most, as a right role model and veteran on the court. And she does it really well. 9 points so far in today's game. So I think really she does a great job. 9.6 rebounds. So far, shooting 45%. Great performance.
Tavic is able to knock them down. Aggressive defense here by Tavic. Onar attacks. Good defense there. Nice little hustle plays.
Yeah, Turkey quite now played just in that low corner out there. I think it would be nice to skip the pass and just change the strong weak side.
7 seconds,
open
6
the floor.
seconds. Onar, tough shot.
Oy.
But Janitez is there for a layup. Oh, missed opportunity. Hollingsworth, now a fight for the rebound. And it's going to be a jump ball. That missed opportunity first by Janitez, and then the second rebound opportunity here. Hollingsworth, 2 missed easy baskets.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Turkey.
But we have to keep them that hustle they put into the fight for these rebounds. We see Canetes and Jonathan Jones, obviously based on the rules, ball for the Serbian, but the hustle's on. That's what matters at the moment.
Tavic. 3-point shot attempt is off. Good box out by Janitez. Fitic.
Great recovery from this fast break. Defensively for Bosnia, and they really run back.
Hollingsworth. Double team, kind of. She finds Fitic, who has Janitez under the basket. Oh, she tries to pass to Yıldızhan, but it's intercepted by Jones, and now Jones passes to Gajic.
I think we might see soon Saklar Turgut back on the court, because she does really organize well the offensive Turkish team. Great ball movement from Bosnia.
Great ball movement from Bosnia. Just off there for Delic.
And again, great coming back from Bosnian defense.
Fitic. 3-point shot, and it's good.
Except for picking up the person with the ball. No one can score without the ball. You gotta pick up the player who has the ball.
And I really see some fatigue in these Bosnian players, where right now I know momentum is on their side. So when momentum is on your side, you have this energy that just comes out that you thought you didn't have for the Turkish team. So a smart timeout here by Coach Loyo of Bosnia to give them a break.
12 minutes to go. We have enough time, 12 minutes to go, but we have to start playing defense. They're in bonus for 2 minutes now. Hey, izolacija, dobiješ ovdje. Daj, naguraj. Guraj, otkraj leđima. Pa ako tu dvoje izbaci, onda pas. Iz one četvorke...
Here we see still struggling Bosnian from 2 points, 19% on the shooting, scoring 5 out of 26. That's a very tough percentage, and I think it's caused by a great defense of Turkey, because they're not letting Bosnians to shoot any easy shots. So they really play aggressively, they contest every shot, so that's why it's such low percentage. But the possession before, when the Qualinta Hollingsworth got the ball posting up Jones, I don't really know why she so easily passed the ball out when she knows that Jones has four personal fouls. I would be up for it, just play her, you know, even if you miss or you go, and then you can always kick the ball out when you need in the last second, but you have to at least attempt to get Jones out of court. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Yildizalu was saying to Qualinta Hollingsworth to play her really, to get her out of the game.
So you heard the Bosnian coach disappointed in his team that Turkey has outscored Bosnia this quarter 18-9. Fittig lets it fly, and that almost rolled in. Hollingsworth with the rebound, though. Her shot's off.
And we're coming again back to the fact, you know, you're running fast break, you're wide open, but I think next possession they should again slow it down a little bit and organize, because you don't want to run up and down and just be hitting the rim and nothing out of it. You got to get some easy basket coming out after organized game.
The foul by Babic, who has been very quiet tonight compared to her game yesterday.
Yeah, she played so far 21 minutes and 3 points. Obviously, she had the game of her life, I would say, yesterday against Belgium, shooting 90%. But, you know, she only shot 3 shots in today's game. That's not a lot to get the player into the game. So I would love to see her getting more passes.
Hollingsworth, mismatch underneath. Quick foul by Gajic, but it's on the floor.
Yeah, we can see Gajic guarding Hollingsworth right now.
Well, she has to, right? So
yeah, absolutely, because Jones is
Jones.
on. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great decision from Coach Loyo, and smart decision as well. So you would like to exchange some big players, so the defense has to react and might switch defense. So then Jones could end up on Hollingsworth.
Genetez hands it off to Onar. Onar attacks the basket. She finds Yıldızhan in the corner. Her shot is long. And Bosnia with an opportunity to cut into this lead. 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Babic. To Dent. She misses, but who's there for the offensive rebound? It's Giombetta.
Yeah,
I think someone went down in the corner.
Yeah, she just got wide open because her defender, I think, got hit into her face, and seems like she's bleeding out of her nose. And I think that's Onar actually on the floor, heavily trying to get up.
Yep, so cleaning up the blood.
Yeah, that was a play off the ball,
Yeah,
so it's
I
quite
didn't see
hard.
it, did
Yeah, I don't think anyone's seen it in this gym, and officials included. So here we might see it. Oh, yeah, that was the shoulder of Giombetta.
It was an inadvertent hit.
Not Giombetta. Yeah, actually, it was, I think, Giombetta. So it happens. Sometimes you have wrong size player when you have a nose right in the level of the shoulder or elbow.
Fittig to Bilgic. Bilgic. She pops and misses, but Genetez is there for the rebound. Bilgic wide open. Little floater, she misses, but another offensive rebound for Turkey. 7 seconds left in this quarter. Pass inside to Hollingsworth is a little long, and ball is going to go to Bosnia.
Yeah,
that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. It might would have been better to get the ball to Gurcan to get a better angle for this pass, even though I know
Jones.
when he's... All right.
2 seconds left. She lets it fly, and she was just off. Well, end of the third quarter, we see Turkey on top, 44-38 for Bosnia.
Arkadaşlar.
Yeah, some stats here. Still Turkish on the mission, going to grab the win in this game. So everything open, 1 more quarter to go. I think Turkish players really improved from the glass, leading at the moment in rebounding 40-31, having grabbed 11 offensive rebounds, which is a great number for Turkish team to get it, to get another possession to attack the basket. Here, obviously, we see some highlights. It's a great lob pass from Çakır Tokgur. Yeah, and as you already mentioned, I think Gülcan has been really key element for the Turkish team as well. She's not only helping offensively, but also her defense great, and all the composure of the whole team getting on. The 2 small ones, Bilgic with Onar as well, worked very well with the backcourt of the Turkish team against the Bosnian team. The quickness and ability to create really helped Turkish team to get this lead in the game, 44-38.
I mean, they're only 3 points away from scoring what they scored yesterday. So I think that's going to happen. And really, like you said, it's the scoring is a lot more spread out. People are stepping up, and you're seeing everyone who's open more or less right now for Turkey. They're able to knock down their shots, and they were really missing that yesterday. But I think we also need to talk about the defense, that at least in the second and third quarter, they have really stepped up their intensity on the defensive end. To only hold Bosnia to 38 points with 10 minutes left is a great job.
Yeah, that's absolutely a great job, and it's great work on the glass both ends from Turkish teams in this third quarter when obviously players having 11 offensive fouls, offensive rebounds. That's really good.
Çakır Turgut gets it back to Bilgic. You got to get the ball inside to Hollingsworth.
Exactly.
Jones has 4 fouls.
She was in a position to play her.
Çakır Turgut, shot clock winding down. She misses, but Hollingsworth there for the rebound. Fortunately, she wasn't able to convert. Babic, Delic, Gajic. Good job by Gajic. And that's an and 1.
Yeah, and that's what Bosnians need, her stepping up a little bit. I think she's now facing the lack of minutes. During the last year, she was dealing with the injury, and these games, she hasn't been in the rhythm yet. So it's really important. If she can step up this quarter, I think Bosnians and Turkish it will be wide open who's going to grab the win.
And she's able to convert, and now it's only a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Marica Gajic, 4 points, 8 rebounds so far.
Çakır Turgut. Oh, she's going to have a foul called for her.
Yeah, it'll be on Delic.
Oh, yeah. She was actually there, and it's at the last moment she moved her feet,
yeah, I think because obviously Çakır Turgut has actually tried to avoid that player very well, and it forced Delic to move and draw the foul.
Hollingsworth to Çakır Turgut. She's posting up now. In my opinion, you got to get the ball inside. Nice pass. Oh, but good defense.
Yeah, but again,
by Gajic.
We spoke about it. If you force it, it's never going to be there anymore. So you either have to do it like pass, or you got to get her out, again moving, and maybe return her back in the later of that possession. So great defense from Bosnians.
Gajic with the steal. Babic running back to Gajic. Easy 2 points. And Bosnia now are going on a little bit of a run of their own to start this fourth quarter. And that's exactly what they needed. At the end of the third, you felt like they had zero energy. Momentum was not on their side. Clearly, the little break between the third and fourth quarter is exactly what we needed, what they needed. And in 1 minute, they've cut the lead to 1 point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they might just reminded themselves that they wanted to enjoy this appearance in here after 22 years not being at this championship, and they actually beat Belgium yesterday. So why they wouldn't be a little bit more positive and just try to go and fight, obviously, to grab the win in this game. Here we see some stats, 8 steals from Bosnians. They were really punishing this one by easy 2 points. Exactly what you mentioned, they needed it. Break points, 9. Yeah, it's absolutely something what every team needs. Sometimes you need these easy baskets. You know, you can't work 40 minutes heavily for every basket to make. You gotta get some of these quick runs to get you back a little bit time to breathe and get you the assurance and change of the rhythm.
And, you know, physically, it's very tired to play 2 intense, high-energy games 2 days in a row. So you kind of just need to somehow encourage your teammates, like, hey guys, we have 9 more minutes left in this game, and we have a day off tomorrow. Don't worry, we have a day off, we can sleep in, we can recover. All we need to give is 110% effort for the last 9 minutes. Bosnia. Gambetta with an easy basket.
That was a great isolation, just Duncan Jones with Gambetta and playing easy pick and roll. Great read.
Little jump shot by Bilgic is off. And now it seems that Turkey a little bit have lost that shooting touch. 3-point shot attempt, and it's good.
But not Duncan Jones. She didn't lose any of it. And this is why it's so important that Turkey hasn't managed yet to get Duncan Jones off the court. This is her presence, and she's playing with 4 fouls since beginning of the third. And 18 points, 11 rebounds. She's again in double-double.
Yeah.
And it just tells you all, like, you gotta play her, you gotta get her out of game.
Hollingsworth.
And it's not that they didn't have
Shakar
opportunities.
Turkic, she attacks. Little jump shot. I think she might have missed an opportunity to go up for a layup by herself, but we have Bosnia and Babic running now. Jones. I thought she was going to pull up for a 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised as well. But Babic, great recognition. She didn't have any way to go to basket.
To
Slow
Babic.
it down.
Babic from 3, and it's good! Bosnia going on a run here. And no surprise, Coach Yildizoğlu. He needs a timeout. He needs to stop this run. And coaches do that by calling a timeout, right?
Absolutely, great call. And it was a great recognition for Babic not to rush that fast break and just be patient and see the ball got back to her and she scored. 0 points so far in this quarter for Turkish team. 3 minutes in this quarter, and they haven't been able to score any basket yet, which is quite worrying at this 4th quarter of the game when the situation is like it is. Now Bosnia on the top of the horse. I think Turkish needs to really improve their defense, because that's what brought them back into the game after that slow start into the game. So Coach Yildizoğlu has something to talk about for sure.
Yeah, 13-0 run for Bosnia to start this 4th quarter, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we see some highlights of Duncan Jones from Bosnia. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Again, what a performance. Interesting fact, she shot 8 times threes and only 6 times twos. And that's quite good stat considering how tall Duncan Jones is. This is the mentioned double already, 18 points, 12 rebounds.
So Jones She's played in 2 FIBA EuroBasket competitions, 2 games, sorry. This is her first tournament. And in 2 games, she has 2 double-doubles.
Amazing, amazing stat. And she didn't even play prep with the team of Bosnia. She only played qualifiers where they beat that Russian team on the way and almost beat them even home. So that's definitely a team not to underestimate.
Jones, she attacks Hollingsworth. And her 2-point basket goes in. Onar just a little bit too out of control, and she turns the ball over for Turkey.
Yeah, that's 13th turnover for Turkey, and that's one thing you don't want to be, Coach Yıldızoğlu and the players of Turkey, is to just give the ball for free, because it wasn't any forced, again, error. It was just a simple decision of
so Hollingsworth coming out, and number 24, Güçlü, checking in. Gambetta hands it up to Delic. Delic goes all the way. She misses the layup, but she's able to draw the foul, and she's going to go to the charity stripe for 2.
I don't know about you, Shona, but I see that if the team's really organizing, staying and playing what they want, they usually something really nice coming out of it and something really good for the team. If they decide to play really individually or maximum just a combination of 2 players, it's quite easier for the defense to cover it, and it never really brings anything good for the team. So what I've seen is even either if it's Turkish team or Bosnian team, if they really stay together and play what they've practiced many times and try to find a spot during the organized offense where they could overplay the defense, it usually brings them good. So I know it's 6 minutes to go, but the game is still quite tight. 11 points is nothing. I think they really have to work for every basket now and avoid the turnovers.
I mean, exactly. Basketball is a game of runs, right? The 3rd quarter. Oh, nice little pass and 1! Good job keeping the ball high for Güçlü there. You know, basketball is completely a game of runs. We saw it in this 3rd quarter for Turkey. They outscored Bosnia 18-11. Now Bosnia went on that run here to start the 4th quarter, but the game's by no means out of reach for Turkey. They need to put together a few stops in a row and scores, but I believe, and they have proven, especially in that 3rd quarter, they're very capable of scoring when they play well.
Absolutely, nothing but agree. Every quarter is completely different. 2 for a Turkish team, 2 for Bosnians. Now, who's going to have that better run to obviously finish this game with the victory? You see again Onar on the ball, Tavic under the pressure. Jones.
Obviously Jones with that experience this year playing in Ekaterinburg, so understanding the European game, offensive foul, and those aren't the kind of fouls that you need right now.
Yeah, Tavic, great defense. She got the hit from Güçlü. And yeah, we keep talking about Jonko Jones, but to be honest, Tavic, I find her a really good element of the Bosnian game as well. She played most of the first half, and she was carrying the Bosnians on her shoulders when the others were a bit struggling.
Yeah. Also her energy and her leadership. You can tell that she's a big part of this team.
Absolutely, and she's quite consistent as well.
Jones with the offensive rebound. And a foul on the ground. I believe it's going to be on Janites. It's just her first, but it is the 4th team foul for the team. Jones thinks about it. No.
Great defense, Janites.
Jones drives. Whoa! And 1. Different point. Janites was there. She was there. All she had to do was get outside that semicircle. Look, she's right here.
Yeah,
but she
one step higher.
She needs to take the contact. I mean, this is the women's EuroBasket. You cannot be afraid of taking the hit and she turns her body at the last second. She would have drawn an offensive foul.
Absolutely.
Had she just squared up and taken it.
And that's what Turkish team would need at the moment, I would say. But another great penetration from Junkin Jones to go aggressive to the basket.
So Jones misses the free throw, but she has 22 points on the night. Jedetez. Three-point shots off, but an offensive rebound. She misses, but the ball stays with Turkey. So in Group B action, Serbia with a commanding lead over Greece, 74-40. Not sure how much longer Hollingsworth will be on the bench. Onar, her shot's off.
That was a little bit unprepared shot, let's say. Obviously, Tavic was behind her back. Why she didn't really go any closer, wait for defense to cover her and then open up the teammate.
Jones, Janitez with the steal. Now Turkey has numbers. Great little pass to Goshen.
This is what they've done the third quarter when they stepped into the game from the changing rooms. They really played great defense, had some easy steals and run some breaks.
Tavic draws a foul on Janitez. There you see the steal by Janitez. Good job getting an arm in the passing lane. And a nice little pass. And finish. Tavic going to the free throw line for two.
So far, the team of Bosnia shooting 7 out of 22 from foul line. And now it's 8 out of 24.
Bosnia with a 9-point lead right now. 4 minutes, a little under 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Turkey, what do they need to do, Teresa?
I think they really have to again step up their defense and be a little bit more aggressive, because that worked against the Serbian team. And it just gives them the opportunity to score and run the floor easily. And we've seen it in the third quarter that it brought them back to the game. They started really well, overplayed Serbian team, and I think that's definitely the way to go.
Passes inside to Hollingsworth. Good defense. Everyone collapsing. Big lid. She's open. She misses. Who's going to come up with the rebound? It's Jones. Jones leading the break now. You don't really want to take any silly fouls if you're Turkey either. Oh, a wide open Tavic underneath. She kicks it out.
Yeah, 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Winding down, Jones. I'm surprised she didn't even shoot.
She didn't even look for her shot. Why is that happened? She's so far shooting 50% from, no, pardon, 33%. Wow. Normally she shot the shot right off the fast break, but when she's having a week to shoot it, not to take it. She knows she should have taken it instead of this turnover.
So 3 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Are Bosnia going to be able to make history, or are Turkey going to be able to come back and make this Group C at this year's EuroBasket very, very interesting?
Look, the baseline.
14 offensive rebounds for Turkey. Great stat, but the question is, can they still carry on? 9 for Bosnia, second chance points not as much effective, to be honest. Scoring only 4 out of 14 offensive rebounds, that's not too high effectivity. And it just comes to the low percentage or not being organized or not preparing the offense, because sometimes when you get the offensive rebounds, it's nice to bring the ball up and prepare the offense again all from zero. You obviously only have 14 seconds, but you still can get something really nice out of it than to rush the shots. But I think Turkish team now really has to step up their defense, put the pressure on. 3 minutes to go, down by 9. And that's definitely one thing. It worked in this game for this Turkish team. And Gulcan, we haven't really seen her much.
She's been quiet.
Yeah, she's been quiet, and we need someone to score.
So quick out of bounds. Tavic had a look. Was tough. They only had a little over 2 seconds to shoot, though. Shakar Turgut. She drives. She stops. She finds Shalar Oktan, but guess what? That's the 15th offensive rebound for Turkey. Absolutely. When you're down, what do you have to do? Offensive rebound.
Exactly. And now, are they able to make it more effective and score? Yes!
Great
if you have
job by
Gulcan.
Gulcan.
I think she heard me that she needs to step up a little bit, because who else could score in that team? Yeah, there are players, but Gulcan was the one who led that run for Turkey early in this game.
Tavic. Gajic.
No. And again, we see 5 players, Bosnians, back in defense. They know they have to stop the breaks of Turkish.
Shakar Turgut, she drives. Still has the ball, gets it out. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Gulcan, who's had a great game for them. She passes it up. Tough
Great defense.
shot.
Great
by
defense from
Shakar,
Bosnia.
Shalar Oktan.
Pardon. Yeah, great defense from Bosnia now to fill the space inside. Doesn't open any middle space for penetration.
And now a foul by Shakar Turgut, captain, experienced player for this team. I'm not sure it's the moment you want to start fouling. I think with, 7 possession game, 7-point game, sorry, a minute 44. At least this defensive possession, try and have a good defensive possession, and maybe if you didn't let them score, you went down and scored, you wouldn't foul again. I just think, knowing that the team's in bonus, you don't want to start putting them to the line too early.
Yeah, absolutely. I only agree, but at the same time, I think that Turkey really needs to now go full court and try to put the Bosnian small players under the pressure. Even though Jonathan Jones sometimes brought the ball as well up the floor. So I think everyone now has to step up and try to contest every pass and not to let Bosnian to play the time, because obviously what they're gonna do, they're up by 9. They cannot play the time. The offense is 24 seconds, so they wouldn't be too smart if they're gonna rush their offense at the moment. So they just need to prepare. And plus, it actually worked for Bosnians when they played the time and organized the offense, because something really good always came out of it. So I expect now Turkish coming out of the timeout with a really full court aggressive defense and trying to contest every pass and get some steal.
Yeah, absolutely. I imagine Coach Yıldızoğlu here is going to come up with a kind of set play that doesn't take a lot of time off the clock. Hopefully they can get a good look. Like you said, hopefully they can make the basket, pick up full court, try and go for a steal.
Yeah, that's always the advantage of the timeouts, when you can draw the play for the players, when it doesn't have to take 24 seconds, and they obviously need some quick points. 15 for Gulcan. Excellent performance, individual performance today.
Along with 11 rebounds.
Yeah, great double-double.
She definitely has been a difference maker for this Turkish team here today.
Yes.
Onar lets it fly. Sure shots off, but they get the offensive rebound. Don't want to take too long here, but you don't want to force a bad shot either. Onar to the basket. She misses. Hollingsworth there. She misses, though. Gets her rebound back, and that's the 5th foul of Jones.
Let's wait for the officials, but it's definitely fifth personal foul now confirmed. And I have to ask you a question, Shona. Like, Jonathan Jones had 4 fouls literally since the beginning of the second half. Do you think that is definitely one of the key moments, what could be the decisive moment not to grab the win in today's game? Obviously, we still have a minute and a half to go. Only 9 points, anything is possible still. But I think if whatever rest it's gonna be, I think that was definitely one of the weaker points of the Turkish game, that they didn't get her out on time.
Yeah. They didn't take advantage of Jones in foul trouble. You know, that being said, you saw Coach Loyo, he put Gajic on Hollingsworth instead because she didn't have foul troubles. And then quite a few possessions for Turkey. Oh, nice offensive rebound and a foul, and they're shooting again. So, missed opportunity by Hollingsworth, but guess who was there? And guess who's going to the free throw line?
Gojan.
Gojan, number 5 for Turkey. Great job and hustle by her.
I would say number 1 for Turkey today, even though she has a 5 on her jersey. But obviously the way she played today, the way she stepped up in the crucial times for Turkey, I think definitely number 1 for this team today.
She makes the first. I mean, if they can miss again, but get the rebound and get another opportunity, that's okay.
And get on the 1 second of the clock, brilliant.
They've only shot 10 free throws in this game. They're 7 for 10.
Yeah, and we see that full court pressing right now, what I was talking about earlier.
And Bosnia are 17 of 22 from the free throw line. They almost turned it over, but they don't.
They really don't want to give any unnecessary foul at the moment.
So they're not fouling now. They're just trying to play good, strong defense. Ball gets to Babic. What's she going to do? Babic is going to drive. She goes up, and a foul is called. So again, you know, free throw shooting, you always look at the stats after a game, and typically when a team goes to the free throw line a lot more, you say they were the more aggressive team. And maybe we're seeing that here today. 17 of 22 attempts. It's soon going to be 24 attempts for Bosnia compared to only 10 attempts for Turkey.
Yeah, that's absolutely one element to look at. That it's decisive for Bosnians as well, because get these 22 shots from foul line when you have no defender. Literally, that's a points free, we say in basketball, and they're shooting 78% so far. Not the best, but not the worst if you have so many attempts, so many more attempts than the other team.
And they're going to call an offensive hooking foul on Hollingsworth. Good job there by Gajic. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, she worked incredibly hard to try and three-quarter and make that pass into Hollingsworth difficult, and she got rewarded for it. So good job by Gajic. You know, hasn't scored a lot for them today. Only has 7 points. She does have 8 rebounds to go along with that, and she's had to play defense a lot of the second half on Hollingsworth to protect Jones. So, you know, maybe statistically, you wouldn't say she had this great game, but if you watch the game, you would really realize how important Gajic has been for Bosnia today.
Yeah, absolutely. When I look at the stats so far, obviously, Turkey is leading rebounds 52 to 38. But as you just mentioned, the Bosnians has been way too many times at the foul line shot, scoring 19 points out of the free throws compared to 7 of Turkish so far. So there's a 12-point difference only in the free throw shots. So that's a lot of points if we consider the score is only 8 points difference.
There you see Belgium and Slovenia. Players are ready to warm up and hit the court. They will be playing next in Group C action, so they're obviously very interested and how this game folds out. Good denying defense there by Turkey. Bosnia, Tavic. She lets it fly. Well off. Turkey with the ball. They gotta go. They don't want to take too long to score, but they don't want to force a bad shot either. Three-point shot attempt, short, and Bosnia with the ball. Now it's getting difficult, Teresa.
Yeah, now it's getting difficult. Bosnia is gonna play a clock right now.
Foul on Onar, so Babic is going to the free throw line.
Yeah, Turkey needs to now foul and just hope that they're gonna miss the free throws. Babic in this game has shot 4 free throws. She missed one, so they would have to hope she's gonna miss another one, but that's not gonna happen probably. Let's see, not with the first one.
9-point lead. This makes it 10. Difficult in 24.8 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
But right now, Turkey, time and score. You know, you don't know what's going to happen in this game coming up at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, every point's going to matter.
Exactly.
So,
you want to get a score here.
Yep.
Onar to Gulcan. Gulcan drives, little floater. She misses. Bosnia with the rebound, and that's it, folks. History made for Bosnia. They make their second consecutive win in this year's FIBA Women's EuroBasket competition. Congratulations, you see the smiles and the excitement on their face. Final score, Turkey 54, 64 for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Congratulations. What a sight. They deserve to celebrate. They are definitely, I would say, the princess team of this tournament so far. And it's only game day 2. You see the disappointment on the Turkish team because you definitely felt like at some point, especially during that third quarter, that they are a good team. They can compete. They're just not able to put a 40-minute game together.
Yeah, absolutely. This quarter they lost 10-26, and we just mentioned who's going to have the best run in the quarter. It was 4 different quarters. 2 worked for Bosnia, 2 worked for Turkey. But fortunate for Bosnia, they had a better stretch point-wise to bring this game to the win. What I would say, Bosnians had lost the rebounding because Turkish had 19 offensive rebounds. But the fact that the percentages we see here, shooting 31 Bosnian, 35 Turkey, not as bad. But you already mentioned it before, that Bosnians has shot 26 free throws, scored 21, and that brings you 21 points, basically with no effort. Okay, if I don't think about the effort, obviously draw the fouls, but Turkey only scores 7 from there, and that's a big difference. That's obviously it's 14 points difference. It could have brought Turkish into the winning end of this game. Another decisive point, Jungkook Jones, she had 4 personal fouls early in the second half, and the Turkish offenders hasn't been able to play her. And it's not that they didn't have an opportunity to play her, to try to her to commit the 5th foul early. They did, but they haven't really been aggressive enough to try to get her off the game early.
Here's some highlights for you from this second half. You know, I thought that number 5, Melis Gulcan, for Turkey, she was excellent. She really tried to do whatever was needed for her team to win tonight's game. You know, she finishes with 17 points, 14 rebounds.
What a double-double.
Yeah, really. 6 offensive rebounds. But this tournament now has become a little complicated for Turkey.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, like really considering that the Turkish team had almost, I would say 15 rebounds more in this game, and some great individual performances, what you just mentioned, and still Bosnian were able to bring this game to the end. It just tells you how much they wanted, because that the fact that they've been really aggressive to draw the fouls, and they really dealt with that increased pressure of defense of Turkish team on them. It tells you that really this Bosnian team is definitely dark horse of this tournament.
You know, they kind of remind me of that 2017 team, the Belgian Cats, and how they came into the tournament, you know, the underdogs. They really, let's see how far this Bosnian team can make a run. But right now, you know, against Belgium, they beat Belgium yesterday. Against Belgium, they were up the whole game. Everything was going smoothly for them. Today, you saw them have some difficulty. Things weren't going well, and they were still able to take back control in that fourth quarter and come up with a win, even when things weren't perfect. And I think that's a good sign of a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a good momentum for them to bring to the next games, because they know even if things doesn't go their way very well, they should not put their heads down and give up, but they can still get back to the game and bring it to the winning end. And that's really strength you want to bring to the next games, and that's what the other teams should be a little bit worried about when they play them.
So, game day 2, Group C standings. Who would have thought? 2-0 for Bosnia. Slovenia 1-0. Turkey now 0-2. Belgium 0-1. Don't go too far, because Belgium and Slovenia are coming up next, and that is going to be a big game. From Shona Thorburn and Teresa Bruntlobud, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Grab a quick bite to eat, and we will see you in a few.